Welcome back to the third segment, second try of Implicit Bias, brought to you by Piper's Haven down here in the beautiful place, 3916 West Congress.
You got it.
Bruh, I've
You
stored
got it. It's finally stored in your
locked
memory
in the
banks.
vault for the next 13 seconds. I legit Googled it and saw it on the way.
Oh, is that what you cheated?
Slickety slick. So if you didn't hear it, Ezra Brooks, full proof, 120 proof, new store pick, phenomenal, delicious. Buy it. Blue, not across the board. Josh Squirrel. He's new. He's new. Give him
He's
grace.
a Scotch guy. He admitted he's a Scotch guy, not a bourbon guy.
So Renee, where were the numbers?
Oh.
On the guesses, we don't have the belt chain. I think Tug, it's in your pants right now, right? It's in his pants.
Walker won it with 62.
Yes.
I said 65. Somebody said
And the
$62, and the number
was
$59.99.
So
That
Walker's just fortunate he doesn't have to wear the Mr. T starter kit.
You know what? I'll hang on your neck the whole night.
Yeah, it'd be lighter.
I'll latch on.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, though.
like a baby koala.
I like the offer, but thanks. No thanks.
Well, I'm trying.
They'd
Did
pay
you
to see
get the
that.
mental image?
A little
Fingers-
bit, but I was,
Fingers interlocked.
Yeah.
Legs
that's,
around the
That
waist.
is the first image that popped in my mind.
Ooh, what's the second?
That was the first. That was the second.
Oh man, that's great. That's great. So we've talked about Bishop Buddle. Takes me a moment.
Bud. What?
Yeah.
Bud?
Buddle. I think she played in Harry Potter.
Oh, something like that. Yeah.
So, but now I want to kind of move on to something that's very similar. I mean, imagine that RFK, Robert Kennedy, is up for the Secretary of Health, and this is somebody that the Democratic Party has loved for years.
Oh, well, yeah. His family was in the Democrat Party forever.
And they were always very, very, very
Uncle was a
prominent.
president. Father
Yep.
was attorney general.
Yep.
You know.
They have been, phenomenal family, done a lot in politics, changed a lot of the game, a lot of the scenery. And for a long time, the Democratic Party were big supporters of theirs until all of a sudden, whenever they saw bipartisanship really happening, and Trump has now appointed him to this position, they're going through and voting on him. And Elizabeth Warren was not happy. I think that she was, what's the word they use? Is it chap?
Chap, chap.
She was chap. She needs some Carmex, some ballistics.
Pocahontas was on the warpath.
Ooh, that's even better. I prefer that. Man, much better than what I was doing. And she was trying to get him to pledge that he would not, as Secretary of Health and Human Services, is that the correct term?
Yeah.
Yeah. That he would not file suit against a big pharma, against vaccine companies, wouldn't do anything like that for his tenure or for 4 years afterwards. And he's like, well, hold on. You're asking me that in my position, the government won't sue either. She was like, no, there's other ways to make money. And look, people in government make money. Otherwise, why would they spend millions of dollars for a $100,000 a year salary? I want you to think about that. Like, as a voting populace, people are spending millions of dollars. What was it during the election time? Does anyone remember? $13.2 billion spent on all, and that's across the board. That's House, Senate, president, vice president elections, everything else combined, for positions that pay less than $1.5 million.
Well, I mean, average salary is $174,000.
Which is, look, that is a great salary. If you live in South Louisiana, Louisiana,
And
174
DC,
grand.
In D.C., it's not too great because things are expensive. Housing and that's expensive in D.C. Food's expensive. But still, it's $174,000, and you go to Congress for a couple of terms, and you're a multimillionaire.
Yeah.
How do you do that on $174,000 a year?
I wonder how much Elizabeth Warren's worth right now. Can you research that while you're watching Sportsbook?
Start listening to some of the Doge things.
Oh.
Man.
Well, and Doge went in, they looked at it and everything else too. But So with this, Elizabeth Warren wants RFK to say he won't file suit, won't sue, won't push them out, won't do anything else because she's worried that he might make money.
No, she's not worried that he might make money.
What?
She's worried that the pharmaceuticals won't give them the monies that they give them for their campaigns and everything else. If they're broke, it's like it's just like with the COVID vaccine. That was one of the things when the government said, we're going to come up with this COVID vaccine. Oh, and by the way, you cannot sue for any problems from this vaccine that we're mandating you take.
My biggest problem whenever the vaccine came out was this was my first chance to tell the government, you ready? Like, you get your little finger ready. That's it. That's all I had.
Yeah.
Because the entire time I was in the service, they were like, look, we're going to get this shot. We're going to get this shot. Malaria, you're going to need a shot for that. You have nightmares, we're going to give you a shot for that. Yellow fever, shot for that. I had every shot under the sun. And whenever I became a civilian and I had to get those same shots again, they were like, we don't do this. This will kill you. I'm like, this is Tuesday.
Yeah.
The government does this every day of the week, but you can't. So that's why I didn't get the COVID shot. And I would love to tell you it was all these other things, but it was my chance to tell the government, I don't care, and I'm not listening to you anymore. And here we have somebody wanting to tell them the same thing.
I didn't trust it.
Well, you should never trust the government.
I did not trust it, so I didn't take it.
But what I love about this is we have people that are being appointed to the government who don't trust the government, so they want to hold the government accountable, but yet the people in the government that have been there for years say, wait, don't change this. We're doing a good thing. We're making good money. We're having a great life. I've got 13 yachts. I'm making this up. I have no clue how many yachts she has. We got 13 yachts, and we're spending taxpayer money like it's bubblegum and cocaine.
Yeah.
Made that up too. I don't know.
Please correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't we establish that vaccines were only effective in as much as keeping it from being more severe should you be admitted to the hospital? They're fighting so hard to keep this vaccine relevant, but COVID didn't really affect the children. It was very dangerous on the elderly, but people were losing their jobs because they refused to take these vaccines. My biggest problem with the vaccine, never touched it, never even thought about it, because any drug that you put into the population, it goes through rigorous testing for years before they determine the efficacy of the drug.
This one was what, 6 months?
Oh, yeah. They shot this through the express lane.
Yeah.
So, but with Elizabeth Warren, it's so funny because it was everything that she was saying was hearsay, supposition, conjecture. She was saying, but if you get this position, you could possibly do this. And all that was on display today, and it was such a difficult watch. It was like tying me to a chair and making me watch an episode of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills or something. It was very difficult to watch because what you had was someone like Tulsi Gabbard, like RFK, like Elon, who saw the BS going on in the Democratic Party and decided to go elsewhere. I don't think RFK has determined that he is going to be a Republican, but what he did was he went against the lockstep of the Democratic Party. And so this was all of their chances. Yeah, they put him on display, they put him up, and they took out all of their Trump frustrations, all of their losing the election frustrations on RFK. And it was a very difficult watch. It was hard to watch.
Well, and what's strange, or not even strange, what's humorous is when you go back 10 years. More than that. We can go back 10 years. Before Trump was elected the first time, he had massive supporters from the far left.
Yeah.
Whoopi Goldberg and all the others were talking about how great he was.
He used to be a Democrat.
Yeah.
He was in the Democrat Party. And RFK did not leave the Democrat Party. They threw him out.
Mm-hmm.
Because they wanted Biden, because they could control Biden. RFK can actually think and can actually talk his mind, where Biden has no clue where he is at.
And look, I'm sure he has difficulty speaking because what's the condition he has where his larynx or his voice box was paralyzed?
Yeah.
And look, it sounds very painful. It does.
I don't think it is.
He speaks well.
Yes.
He speaks well. He is eloquent. He is articulate. Like, the man knows what he's saying.
He's not a dummy.
No.
He is very smart, but yeah. And I think that's what frustrates a lot of the Democrat senators and stuff now is that he is very articulate, he's very intelligent, and he doesn't follow their agenda.
Doesn't follow their agendas, right? Because when you look at it, he's like, look, eat fruits, eat nuts, eat berries, eat red meat,
don't
white meat.
eat all these chemicals that
Yeah.
the food companies are putting in your
Eat
foods.
more natural. I mean, we're the only country in the world where it's okay to eat all these different dyes and all these other things. But you know what's not okay? Another break, unfortunately. Be right back.